Welcome to another episode of Solitaire Quest. You know who I am? This is another rant quest. So yeah, Star Trek Picard. That was a bunch of shit. It was just a fucking shit show of a series. Ugh. Yeah. I gotta say this. Same time I was watching Star Trek Picard. Was also watching this mecha anime called Gun Parade March. Now, Gun Parade March, that anime was boring. It's boring as all hell. Goes from a mecha anime with high school children as the pilots. It goes from that into a boring romantic comedy. And there's only 15 minutes of mech anime fighting. Now, my opinion, Gun Parade March is basically the blueprint for anime going woke. All you need to do is slap in some identity politics and some intersectional feminism, and you got something going there. It's the blueprint, in my opinion. Just slap on two extra ingredients. And I found Gun Parade March. I found that mecha anime more watchable than Star Trek Picard. Star Trek Picard, it just pisses on everything that made it great. Pisses on the characters, pisses on the franchise. Gun Parade March, it basically takes this high concept and lights it on fire for a new series, but it doesn't try to spit on its customer and fan base. No, it just destroys itself. Now, Star Trek Picard, going back to that, I found the worst moment in that series was when they fucking unplugged Data. Now, Data, in Star Trek Nemesis, he had a hero's death. They brought him back just so they could kill him by unplugging him. The man who wanted to become human, the android that wanted to become human most of all, tried to understand humanity and become more like us. They gave him a bitch death after erasing his hero's death, saving Jean-Luc Picard. Now I can watch Star Trek The Next Generation because I know the way it ends. I know the proper way it ends. In the last episodes of Star Trek Picard, we get to see Picard. He's at the wine vineyard. He's at the wine vineyard. But he's still fucking Picard. And the Enterprise D is still around. Riker is an admiral still. Aside from Deanna being dead, that's a good resting place for Star Trek The Next Generation. Now, Nemesis, was it a good movie? Was it a good Star Trek movie? it certainly wasn't the worst. And as a young kid watching it at the time, I liked it. As a young kid, I liked Star Trek Nemesis. As a young kid, I don't think it's I don't think it's a great movie, but Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Picard just complete it. It makes Nemesis it erases Nemesis because what's the fucking point? It erases Nemesis for me. Cause I can't watch Nemesis anymore or any of the TNG movies. I can't watch any of the TNG movies because the continuation of the story leads to fucking start the continuation of that story, the movies, which can be in its own whole entire alternate universe because yeah, the movies, Star Trek TNG movies, they lead into Star Trek Picard. Well, Star Trek The Next Generation doesn't lead into any of that crap because Picard has a full head. He's got hair. He's got a beard. And the Star Trek and the Starship Enterprise, the Enterprise D is still flying in the sky, and everyone's still themselves. Data's still alive. Everyone's still themselves, and that's where everything ends for me. And I got to admit, Star Trek Generations, First Contact, they're my favorite movies of the Next Generation era of films. I like them. It's crappy that Kirk dies in Generations. Yes, I will admit that. But he died. He died saving a bunch of people he didn't even know. He died helping Picard save a bunch of people he didn't know. The crew of the Enterprise D and the inhabitants, the civilization that lived in the Viridian system. He died a fucking hero, saving them. And his exploits, they'll never get mentioned to the native inhabitants of the Viridian system. They'll never know that a man risked his life. The human man, a legendary figure, risked his life to stop a madman who was going to kill them all. You know? They all get to live. They live knowing that there's a hero, that there's an unspoken hero out there that saved all their lives and everyone else who would come after. They owe it to Kirk. They owe everything to Kirk. You know? Kirk's death, bad as it was, he died a fucking hero in the line of fucking duty, saving people he didn't even fucking know. That's a way to go. And that event is not going to get remembered by the Viridians. The people the civilization that inhabited that system on one of the other habitable planets. Not going to get remembered by them. Sure, they'll join the Federation, and then maybe they'll see that Kirk saved himself or sacrificed himself to save them. Yeah. So yeah, Generations. Also, Generation holds a place in my heart too, because it's part of the reason why the part of the reason why I like to read. I like to read books. It's part of the reason why, because my mother had the most smartest decision in her life that she's ever made. It's like instead of forcing your kid to read books outright, instead of doing that, she decided to let me read what I want to read. And what I wanted to read was the novelizations of the first three Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, and the novelization of Star Trek Generations that we had on hand as well. I wanted to read those four books. And I read those four books. Fucking awesome. Fucking great. Great as the movies. Oh, I'll always thank my mom for that, you know? She had the insight of doing that. And then another person, another parent, or something, you know? My mother made the suggestion to that person to let their kid read. And it was, yeah. Apparently to that person it was like a light bulb being turned on, you know? And you know, just because your kid wants to read books, picture books with cars in them, don't squat. Don't force him to not read those books. Give him those books. Give him those books. Give him those books. Let him read. Let him have positive experiences with books, because that's what you want to do. You want fun and positive. You want your kid to grow up with fun and positive experiences with books, so that when they do decide to pick up a novel, they're not going to have any negative karma behind that. And that's schools school curriculum for reading books, you know, school curriculum for reading novels and shit, forcing kids to read those read fucking novels. Kids don't have the attention span for that. For full novels, kids and some teenagers don't have the attention span for that. But short stories, on the other hand, yeah, make kids read short stories. Because it's better, but short stories that contain the gist of what a novel could contain. You know? Don't go overboard. You know? Kids don't have the attention span for long novels. Not long novels or thick enough novels. They only have that attention span when that novel is the most interesting piece of fiction they have ever read. And yeah. They only have the attention span. The attention span's limited. Don't force novels on the kids. Especially ones they're not gonna entirely love. Especially maybe teenagers as well. You know? Because what's a more positive experience? Reading books you enjoy, or having to grind through a book you don't. Now, yeah. Anyway. 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 Star Trek movies, to me now, they've been fucking degraded by Star Trek Picard. I can't enjoy them anymore, knowing that it leads to that. I know I can still enjoy TNG because it presents an alternate future that isn't concerned itself, that isn't tied directly into the movies and shit like that. But TNG is firewalled that way because of the last 2 episodes. But the movies? No. No, they're degraded to me now. But no, I realized with Doctor Who that there are enough novels, audio dramas, comics, and other work out there that you never have to watch another episode of Star Trek ever again. You never have to do that. I realized that. Came to that realization, and yeah. It sucks that the novels that exist out there, it sucks that only the TV shows and movies are canon. It sucks like that. I wish there was some. I wish that there were novels that were canon to the show. Or they could be canon, you know? You never know. But yeah, these are my thoughts on Star Trek Picard. I hope you enjoyed listening to what I have to say. I hope I'm not pissing into the wind. So yeah, you know who I am. I'm the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Stay frosty. Stay sexy, San Diego. Get your Joels in one where you can. And I'm a spaceman. Peace out.